Yeah. There is Matthew. Jim, before you go any further, so you were allowed to get away with talking utter nonsense yesterday, suggesting that Old Trafford would be half empty by the time the game finished last night. We didn't do any such thing. We knew there would be some kind of a walkout. We didn't know how many would protest against the Glazers and duly walk out with 17 minutes to go. As it turns out, Simon, not many did walk out, which is their prerogative. Whether Matthew likes it or not, we can't predict how that would work out.
No, we can shine a light on it, and you know my view on it sometimes, that I don't always agree with the light that we shine on it, but activism is always the loudest noise in the room. It doesn't always necessarily represent the entire body.
Yeah.
So you've got a situation where Man United played okay, Brentford were dreadful, but Man United played okay, they win 3-0. It's the end of the season. You're going to have the die-hard, very strong focus of people that want to come out of the stadium, and you're going to have the bulk of people that don't.
Sure. As you rightly say, Brentford not at the best. They've had a great season, but last night was no great display from them. 3-0 they lose to United. But Simon, here's my question. With a new manager incoming, amongst the backdrop, whether we like it or not, of fan protests, major surgery to the squad in the summer, is there more cause for optimism than pessimism regarding United going into next season?
Well, it depends which way you want to look at it. If you're the sort of person that looks at every glass as half empty, you'll continue to look at it that way. If you're going to look at it with some degree, the people that are hell-bent, and it doesn't matter what you do, you give them their season tickets for free for the next 5 years, you spend £300 million a year on transfer fees and bring the best manager in the world in, you'll still have a section of the Manchester United fan base that will not have the Glazers.
Yeah.
So they will be sitting there saying, well, look, we've seen this before, there's no reason for any particular cause for optimism. What you're hearing now also, on a different point, is Ranić starting to get a set of balls and start to say a few things that have some substance behind them about what he's really experiencing, what nearly needs to be the change. I mean, I think pretty much you could read between the lines, anything he didn't think needed changing in that team was the goalkeeper. And that was a pretty damning indictment of the entire playing squad.
Yeah.
I think that you have cautious, if you're a Manchester United fan, you have cautious optimism about the changes that may be happening.
Yes.
Because you've got Ten Hag, who's a live one. He's a winning manager. He's not part of the past. He's not somebody that has a reputation that the British media want to pile onto, which is Mourinho. He's not somebody that has a disposition like Louis van Gaal that gets up everybody's nose because of his arrogance. He's not somebody that doesn't have a track record that should never have been managing Man United in the first place, which is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You have a real manager. You're not somebody that's coming in after Alex Ferguson. You've got a real, in the here and now, guy that's managing a very good side. Now, whether he's going to go into Man United and get consumed by the deluge of problems that are there, which is a squad that isn't good enough, a fan base that's a little bit disparate in certain areas, and an ownership model that isn't working, whether he's going to have the strength of character to cut through that, that's on him. But when you've got a change coming, and a change is based upon a definite decision, it's taken too long to get to that definite decision, but let's say there were factors that influence that. But when you've got a real sea change coming in, people seeming to depart, scouts going, people that are not fit for purpose being shuffled around, why shouldn't there be cautious optimism?
Yes.
And this idea that it's going to take 3 or 4 years, if you're not very good at what you do, it'll take 3 or 4 years to get Manchester United back to a position where they can compete. If you're good at what you'll do, you're going to cut through this like a knife through butter, because this is a big football club that has the resources to be able to control its own destiny.
What, cut through in one close season?
No, I don't think. Do I think that Manchester United can win the Premier League in the next year? Of course they cannot. But what they can do is they can be far more impactful and be going in. They're not going in any direction. They are becalmed.
Yeah.
In fact, they're not becalming. They're rowing upstream. They're going backwards.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, they've got an opportunity now to take control of their destiny. This is still a fabulous football club with a lot more going for it than it has going against it.
But do you like the cut of this guy's jib? Do you look at Ten Hag and think, he can slice through every problem like a knife through butter and sort the damn thing?
The challenge for me is, without wanting to sound like an old cynic, I think a lot of these managers are like the Emperor's new clothes. With the exception of the elite ones, most of them aren't what you think they are. Now, if he is a top manager, then he will, cut through this. He will make light work of this. If he's not, then he will struggle and flail like other people have had. Now, the Ranić observation is everybody thought he was going to be better, specifically and explicitly me. But I also think that he was weighed down. It was like watching Jacob Marley come down to talk to Scrooge of all the chains upon him, because he couldn't move with the basis of what he had in that playing squad, what's in that boardroom, what he's got around him. Now, do I think he did enough? No, I don't. But Ten Hag now has to get hold of this, and he has to mean what he says and says what he means.
Right.
And I think judging by what we've read about him, and judging by what we hear about him, he appears to exhibit the single-minded characteristics of what a elite manager looks like. Now, when you walk in the door of Man United, whole new set of rules. You can't make this up as you go along. This is a different sort of football club.
Sure.
He will either have the gravitas and the chops to do it, Jim, or he won't.
Simon, on Brentford, as we head to the break, I don't mean to be unkind to them, but they've done brilliantly, surviving in the Premier League and surviving comfortably. How do they go about avoiding the dreaded second season syndrome?
Recruitment. Buy well. Keep their manager focused on the job in hand.
Yeah.
Evolve, adapt, do everything Dillian White said he was going to do in a fight against Tyson Fury and didn't do, which was adapt. Sheffield United changed their model, didn't adapt. People worked out how they played. Keep to your strengths, keep to the core focus. Remember who you are, remember where you've come from. Don't get carried away with the illusion that somehow or another that everything you do is right. And hopefully there'll be 3 worse teams to start with.
Yeah.
And build from there.
Yeah. Okay, Brentford, looking forward to another season in the Premier League. But what are Manchester United looking forward to under this man, Erik Ten Hag? Should there be more cause for optimism or pessimism regarding United going into next season? As Simon says, if this guy's worth his chops, he'll cut through every problem like a knife through butter. Is he going to do that? And when can United be considered a real force once again? Because 3-4 years down the line, many United fans won't buy that. You want it now or next to now. Optimism or pessimism? How do you feel about United going into next season? 03717 223344 81089.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.